Здравейте, здравейте, момци и моми, аз съм GMR, а това е епизод 39-ти. 39-ти от поредиците ми на The Outer Worlds.
I'm impressed, Captain. I almost expected you wouldn't go through with it. Unfortunately, Dr. Wells found a way to corrupt the signal before we could pinpoint his location. Still, it's only a matter of time before we find him.
Добре.
Come visit me in Byzantium. We need to have a talk about the future of this colony.
How do I know this is drop? Wait, I have a questions.
Transmissions is so personal. I'd like to meet you face to face. Meet me in my office. I've authorized your ship at my personal landing pad.
Adjutant Akane has ended her call. Rather rudely, if I might say, considering she didn't sign off. Will there be anything else, Captain?
Let's go. Дигнахме още един левел. Добре.
Captain, I hope Dr. Wells has not dragged you into one of his irrational schemes again. My diagnosis of his mental stability is... not flattering. Sending a corrupted tracking signal to the board was quite clever, if I might say, Captain.
Да, идеята не беше моя. Айде, отиваме да говорим с тази мацка.
We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
Сега, само че тук искам да си направя един old school save, защото си трябва. Ей така. Не. Това искам да ми партито сега. Ели ми харесва да е с мене в на тази локация. Аз реших, че ще ми вземат поне оръжието, но не. Не искаха. Тия ще ги оставяме сега броните. Айде да се катериме да видим какво ще става. Още един асансьор. Ние бяхме тук, само че... Да, окей, бяхме тук. Само че не говорихме с нея, се премъквахме на Уелс, не Уелс. Забравихме нето.
For better or worse, Wells was responsible for putting you back on your feet. That said, he's also a wanted criminal. For information regarding his whereabouts, you are entitled to collect a reward from Percival.
What's going to happen to Wells?
The signal you sent us is experiencing some interference. My agents will need time to isolate the problem. We're going to monitor Wells until we're ready to make a move. I asked you here to discuss something far more important. I
Аре, бе.
understand you've infiltrated the ministry. The things you discovered there must have been shocking, even disturbing. Halcyon is on the verge of a total systems collapse. The truth is ugly and difficult to accept, but we must accept the truth before we can move forward. Malnutrition is already a problem. Disease will come next, followed by starvation, followed by a breakdown of society, followed by extinction. I know this must come as a surprise to you. I imagine you have questions.
What's in this for you? There's gotta be an angle. There always is for people like you.
I appreciate your skepticism, Dr. Fenhill, but I'm not doing this for any personal gain. My angle is the preservation of our colony by any means possible. Nothing more and nothing less.
So that's your solution? The whole colony on ice? People ain't gonna stand for this. We'll fight back. We'll tear down the walls of Byzantium.
No, Mr. Millstone, you will not.
Виж.
The workers of Halcyon will do exactly as they are told, as they always have. Your dreams of a people's revolution are the juvenile fantasies of a frustrated child. I won't pretend the truth isn't damning. Yes, the colony is on the verge of collapse, but there is a way to save it.
We need to talk about this lifetime employment program.
I'll answer however I can.
How long do you have? How long do we have?
We've already crossed the point of no return. The collapse has already begun. You must have noticed the signs in Emerald Vale. Malnutrition, disease, high mortality rates. This is a permanent famine, Captain. We've done all we can to curb their hunger. Very soon, people are going to realize they're starving. A famine is a problem of logistics as well as marketing. Your workers must remain productive on as little food as possible, and they must always believe that food is plentiful.
That's what that research in Roswell was all about.
I'm sure you remember Dr. Anton Crane. His research was instrumental in developing the powerful appetite suppressant. The solution is a temporary one. Before long, our workers are going to feel the effects of starvation. The Lifetime Employment Program is our only viable option.
You don't honestly believe all this lifetime employee nonsense, do you?
The Lifetime Employment Program is not some malevolent strategy of an evil mastermind. There's no dark secret buried in the fine print.
Да,
The
добре.
program is logical, it's reasonable, it's merciful. And most importantly, it will work.
Що? I saw the presentation. Rockwell wants to sacrifice the colony to save Byzantium.
Byzantium is the beating heart of our colony.
Така ли?
And as long as Byzantium survives, Halcyon may one day recover from the collapse. We must protect this city at any cost. Help me execute the Lifetime Employment Program,
No.
and you will have earned a place of honor in Byzantium. You will live in comfort and want for nothing.
What does any of this have to do with me?
When you turned Phineas Wells over to me, I knew I could rely on you. You've demonstrated your ability to place duty above sentiment. And you deliver results. That quality alone is enough to separate you from the board's army of indecisive bureaucrats.
Not a fan of the bureaucracy, Sophia?
Do you know how many meetings I have to sit through? How many papers I have to sign before I can make one decision? I'm only trying to rescue Halcyon from extinction. I can't save this colony alone. I need someone capable of working outside the system. Someone who can get things done.
What's your taking on all this?
When I first discovered the truth, I was shocked, even disgusted. I wondered how we'd allowed a colony like Halcyon to fall into disarray. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized the colony had sown the seeds of its own destruction. We have become lazy and decadent. We smother ourselves in meaningless bureaucracies. We deliberate and argue and procrastinate.
Добре, окей. Тук съм съгласен с нея, че за нищо не ставате. That's a pretty good argument for getting rid of the board entirely.
I admit, I occasionally fantasize about making an executive decision without having some tedious committee questioning my every move. Do you have any idea how much paperwork is involved in ordering someone's execution through the usual channels? It's positively maddening.
One more question. Tell me why you wanted to see me.
We need to talk about Emerald Vale. You handed Edgewater over to a band of dissidents. I can't have this. Adelaide McDevitt and her people have no place in the Halcyon that is to come. Edgewater needs to go. I want you to wipe the town out. No survivors.
Няма да става.
Are you out of your mind? We're not gonna murder a town of innocent people.
You will do exactly as you're told, or I will have you shot for insubordination.
I get that you board types are all about efficiency, but isn't this a bit much?
I'm asking your captain to amputate a rotting limb from the colony. I'd expect you to understand, Dr. Fenhill. Now is not the time for half measures, Captain. I need a decision from you.
I don't understand. What did Edgewater do to deserve this?
You replaced a loyal, if hard-headed, town leader with a revolutionary.
Incompetent.
Adelaide's people have turned Edgewater into a hub of dissidents. These people are dangerous. They're going to become more dangerous after the collapse. We need to put them down. Now.
The board is responsible for this colony. This is all your fault.
Because we were negligent. You're right, the colony can't possibly feed itself. And it's our fault. This is our mess. And the only way we're cleaning it up is by taking action. I'm not asking you to be a murderer. I'm asking you to be a surgeon.
Няма да стане
Edgewater is a
буклук.
necrotic limb on the body of the colony. It must be severed.
Otherwise, people are self-sufficient. They are not trained on the colony's resources.
Don't fool yourself. The dissidents occupying Edgewater are rebels harboring dangerous and seditious ideas. Left to their own devices, their numbers will grow. Graham Bryant and his merry band of morons caused enough trouble on Monarch. I won't risk the same thing happening in Edgewater.
You're completely insane.
No. Allowing thousands of colonists to starve to death because we couldn't make one cold-blooded decision is insane. What I'm suggesting is absolutely logical. Steel your spine, Captain. Do what needs to be done.
The answer is no.
Don't make this more difficult than it needs to be, Captain. I rather like you. And I'd hate to have you shot for disobeying a direct order.
И ще се прома.
I'm disappointed. I was so sure you had potential.
Looks like we're doing this.
Nice one!
No good, boss. Try another weapon.
The last of them.
Да ти буклук. А тази специално ще обера всичко, лата. Си мисля, лата, че като сме тук, лата, ще мога да изпрея, ама не е познава. Сега, това, което обаче на мен не ми харесва, че аз не ще да избивам абсолютно всички тук. А може би ще се наложи. И съответно мисля да фана на лона и да видиме... Да. Ще лодна и да видиме... Почти съм сигурен, че в крайна сметка в един момент ще имаме друг извор.
I admit part of me expected. I no.
Така...
This
Not a fan. It's your take. Така...
edge. You. Now.
Why me?
Because right now you're the only person I can depend on. My hands are tied by endless rolls of red tape and bureaucratic limitations. Halcyon is going to collapse while the board hems and haws and debates minutiae. We need to act, and you're the only person with the wherewithal to do what's necessary. I'm not asking you to be a murderer.
Щайте. Така, the answer is no. I don't...
Not true. You can choose to say, yes, ma'am, or at once, Madam Adjutant, or as you wish, or even, I'll take care of it. Edgewater is
Надявам се.
saving. We're going to have to erase the town, but we're going to do it systematically. You were in the Emerald Vale geothermal plant. Do you remember what you discovered there?
Remind me.
There was an accident at the Emerald Vale geothermal plant many years ago. Automechanicals turned hostile and slaughtered the plant's workers. Tragic, really. In fact, Spacer's Choice manufactured the incident for an insurance claim. They outfitted their mechanicals with a termination protocol, which is exactly what we need.
Hold on. You're telling me... Не, като не го знаехме това нещо, в смисъл поне предполагахме, че е така. Поне аз предполагах, че е така. Hold on. You're telling me the Spacer Choice got away with it?
The insurance claim has been locked in committee for years, but the individual responsible for the accident was promoted for lateral thinking. I'm arranging for a delivery of mechanicals to Edgewater. These mechanicals have been equipped with the same termination protocol, which must be activated from a terminal in the plant. Once the mechanicals are finished cleaning out Edgewater, I'll need you to go in and clean out the mechanicals. Understand?
I just want you to know you're cold-blooded psychopath.
I appreciate the flattery, Captain.
And I'm going to blow your head.
Spacer's Choice sent a team of soldiers to investigate your little misadventure in the geothermal plant. Tread lightly.
Please, I never tread lightly.
Then don't tread lightly. Carve a path through them for all I care. Just take care of it. Report back to me when the job's done.
I got a real problem with this.
Се махаме. Тук може ли да се качиме нагоре? Не, това пък е за надолу.
You're not really thinking of going through with this plan, right?
Of course not.
Tell me I'm imagining things. That's Parvati's hometown. You're just gonna wipe it out? Vicar Max lived in Edgewater. We got folk from our own crew that called that place home.
I know Felix. I know Felix, I'm not happy about this job.
If you don't like this job, and I don't like this job, and nobody else on this ship likes this job, then why are you going through with it? Edgewater is a corporate town, not some marauder camp. They're asking you to wipe out their own people.
Така, I know what I'm doing, Felix, trust me.
I want to trust you, boss, but I'm gonna need more than just your word. I need an explanation. I ain't asking you to do anything for me. I'm asking you to do the right thing. And if you can't, then we're not going to be on good terms. Never mind. Let's just move on.
Сега обаче, искам един quick save да направя тук. Да се лодна тук. Да направя един old school save тук. След това пак да се лодна тук. Имам някакво усещане, че може и малко да съм се прецакал. Имам някакво усещане, че може все пак да нямам накрая избор за специално за Edgewater. Надявам се да не е така. Само вариантът ще покаже.
I believe I hear Felix and Parvati discussing the latest vaporwave serial. We are now in orbit above Edgewater, Captain.
По-скоро не Парвати, по-скоро Нью-Йорк. Ако все пак се стигне до там, че трябва да чупиме Edgewater, нещата компаньоните, които са от Edgewater да се знае.
You know, I've been assuming this entire stay on your ship thing isn't a permanent arrangement. Part of my contract? That said, you ain't been eaten or shot to death yet. Says a lot about the stability of your future. And to be honest, I'm about sick of sleeping on bar stools.
Добре.
How's about this? You keep letting me stay on that ship of yours, and I'll keep shooting at the things you point at.
Sounds good to me.
Outstanding.
So we're really gonna do this? I've seen lots of crazy, Captain, but Phineas is in a class of his own.
О, да, със
Do
сигурност.
you think he knows what he's doing? Sending us to skip the Hope into Terra-2's orbit right under the board's nose?
М,
There's a sobering thought. Makes me want to drink.
Here, here.
I think this whole plan's insane.
Малко
But
кихаме.
it'll make a good story, you know, if we survive. Speaking of, I get that Phineas thinks he's saving the colony, but what about you? Why risk your neck on this crazy scheme?
Oh, well, what about you? You're still with me? Wink.
I'll do anything for a good story, and nothing shines on a pirate's resume like a successful suicide mission. But I asked you first.
The people of Halcyon deserve a chance. So the colonists on the Hope.
Coming from anyone else, that would sound like a line from one of those Odeon Pictures movies. But I think you really mean it. Still, all this depends on the other Hope colonists. Are they gonna pull us out of the shit? Or are we all just gonna leave a bigger, uglier stain on this corner of the galaxy?
We'll put together. I'm confident in that.
You're too trusting, and I'm gonna remember that when I negotiate for my cut of our reward, okay? Well, whenever you're ready to do this, I'm with you. Anything else?
Ами, май не. Ни оказ нещо.
What's up?
Няма какво си качваме. О! You mind heading to the ship for a bit? Sure you got. Значи, добре, хубаво си приказваме, обаче си приказваме след Edgewater. Защото... О, трябваше да ходя да си взема на кратката. Ти ме видим за този терминал протокол, какво ще направи. Сега по някое време вярвам, че ще има някакъв избор. А ако не, поне ще сме видяли какво ще стане, ако се съгласим. Само да фанаме да изключиме ние. Така се изключва, бе? Изключихме го, така.
Describe the nature of the accident. It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice.
Да.
This area is currently experiencing a surprise audit. Turn around and head back to your designated workplace or domicile.
Да, го предсуедно, айде.
Oh, yes, absolutely. A real stickler for the rules. Hard-ass Hogarth, that's what they call me. That's Hogarth with 1G, by the way.
Hi, Captain Hogarth.
Word with the Honorable Adjutant. Don't let me get in your way. Go on through.
Тук ли? Да видим сега какво ще се случи. За жалост нещо не ми хареса как накрива тия тъшата. Тук не мога да се портна, нали? Не. Петъреди. Значи, ако тук въобще не ми даде такова право на избор, нещо да ви прецакам тия, ще съм доста разочарован, честно. А трябва директно да се сбия. Аха. Какво се случи, че ние в крайна сметка сме изтрепали всичко живо? Не ми хареса, сори. Не. Този quick save къде е? Добре, това преди да влезнеме. Ето има се опитаме да говорим с тази мацка. Но сега тук всичко... Сега тук всичко си е 6. Само къде беше... Ето това е. Да видим само трябва дали е горе, аз съм сигурен къде се е настанила. Надявам се да е тук горе. Ето това е.
Even Reed's stranglehold over Edgewater must inevitably yield to the attrition of time.
No, that's Reed's gone. What do you plan to do?
Start anew. Edgewater will become a town it was meant to be. A place where we live in harmony with the world.
Добре.
Where none of us writhe under the whips of corporate masters. A place where all are welcome. Except for Reed's supporters, of course.
I was wondering about your garden.
The garden will bloom anew. I have plans to transform the old cannery into a nursery, with crops enough to feed a town.
Супер. You're still using crops in your fertilizer.
But of course. And now we have a whole cemetery to ourselves.
Are you concerned about the plague?
Saltuna was making the town sick. From now on, if anybody's hungry, they may feast from the bounty of the soil. May you find peace in the eternal.
Нали също сега няма ли започнат да се чувстват все по-гладни всъщност в един момент? Но не можем да направим това. В такъв случай просто няма да изпълняваме задачата. Хубаво да си вземем кинтите. Ще си вземем паричките там, това е наградката, обаче няма да им изпълняваме задачата, ще я оставим висяща. Защото не искам да избивам града. Нито този, нито. Нито Edgewater, нито Византиум искам да избивам. И от тази гледна точка... Сега пак искам да си взема ефект, защото може би има какво да си говоря с него. Искам да видя... Имам ли стига с какво си приказвам. С тебе? Не. Къде си е? Е. You're still upset? If you got a problem, talk to me.
I don't know how we're ever gonna see eye to eye, as long as you're working for the board. Why? You got a ship. You got the run of the colony. So tell me why you're bending a knee in front of the adjutant.
Защо... I appreciate that you disagree with me, Felix. I need you to be my conscience.
Yeah, well, when you put it that way, I guess I gotta try. Suppose I'm not doing the team any favors by sulking all the time. I'll try to keep my chin up.
Anything else on your mind?
Don't believe so. Yeah, boss?
Добре. Сега ние няма да работим за тия, това със сигурност. Ама фаме ги изтрепеме. Да знам, защо па да не ги изтрепеме? Мисля, тук всички са войници, доколкото разбирам, и този чиляк.
Adjutant Akande has instructed me to reward you for information leading to the arrest of Phineas Wells. Please allow me to extend my felicitations on a job well done.
About damn time.
Indeed, sir.
Айде. Сега мога ли се пак да говоря с нея и да...
Get rid of Edgewater. I'll deal with the consequences.
Does the name Clyde Harrow mean anything to you?
Ah, yes. Clyde Harlow and his gang of erstwhile outlaws living on the dark end of Scylla. He was useful. For a time. But impossible to work with. Too much ego, not enough sense. Frankly, I think he could have learned a lesson in freelancing from you.
Wells has been dodging the board for years. Why are you after him?
Wells had a litany of charges on his records, the most severe of which is destruction of government property. He may be a dangerous criminal, but I have no intention of having him killed. It's his mind I'm after.
I get it, you need to Wells research. Много ясно. Много ясно, че не мисля, че той ще работи с нея.
Behind long-term hibernation. We have the colony's brightest scientists working on the program, but none of them possess Wells' unique genius. I'd prefer to have Wells alive and cooperating, but I'll settle for having his research.
No.
Adjutant Akande.
Така...
Some crew members are causing a disturbance.
Така да видим сега тук какво ще се случи.
Something busted, Captain?
Не.
Something on your mind?
Не.
Hey, Cap.
Не. Добре. Добре. Само, че не, аз няма да изпълнявам това за Edgewater. Право започвам другата задача. И се надявам нещата така да се получат.
We have arrived at the Hope. I need you to reroute power from our ship to the Hope's auxiliary generator.
Добре.
You'll have to connect me to the Hope's comm system so I can convince her central computer to enable the skip drive.
What's going to happen if I skip the Hope?
If your calculations are even slightly off, you could crash the entire colony ship into Terra 2. Or the Sun.
What was doing again?
Forgetfulness can be an early warning sign of asphyxiation due to loss of pressurization. Are you breathing comfortably, Captain?
Горе-долу.
I need you to reroute power from our ship to the Hope's auxiliary generator. You'll have to connect me to the Hope's comm system so I can convince her central computer to enable the skip drive.
Tell me about the Hope.
The Hope is the Groundbreaker's prettier, sleeker sister. She wandered off and got lost for 70 years, but just recently was found. Also, there are hundreds of thousands of frozen organic life forms hibernating in her hold.
Чудесно. Айде да слезнем да видим. Сега ще си вземем така. Тях двамата. Какво обаче ще направим? Сега ще сложа края на епизода. Той не е 47 минути, ще е малко по-кратък, защото там има едно повтаряне на едни елементи, които ще премахна, защото реших да преиграя едно нещо. И така. И сега ще сложа край на епизода. И следващия епизод ще видим първо всички компаньони какво мислят, защото мисля, че повечето вече имат някакво отношение спрямо нашите решения. И така. Добре. Пожелавам всичко най-хубаво. Чао, чао и до нови срещи.